everyone. I am Matt Williamson. How's everyone doing? Wonderful weather here in the Berg as we speak. Feels like spring. Feels like the first wave of free agency is basically in the books. Please follow me on Twitter and my YouTube page at Williamson NFL. Today we've got a couple news and nuggets. First off, Mason Rudolph signed with the Titans. They also signed Calvin Ridley. If you had that hope after the Deontay Johnson trade, they massively overpaid Ridley. But it's a good landing spot for Rudolph. Good for him. Looks like he's the clear 2 behind Will Levis. Made a decent buck in doing it. Certainly has a chance to see the field this year. I mean, it's not a terrible situation around him. So good for Mason Rudolph. His time here is over. Now, there is much talk about Tyler Boyd returning back to Pittsburgh, his hometown, to be the Steelers' number 2, number 3 receiver. I don't love it. It's okay. He's better than Allen Robinson. I mean, I view him as a 3 at best. Some people are viewing him like he's the Deontay Johnson replacement. I think you're insane. Depending what he costs, I would not give him. It sounds like 2 or 3 teams are interested. At least that's the nonsense being said. Who knows? I would not get in a bidding war for this guy. Yes, he blocks. Yes, he's tough. But a lot of people around here act like he's Hines Ward or something. I mean, he is slow. He is truly a slot guy. I think he's a 3 that you would hopefully replace with Austin and or a draft pick. It would still leave a massive need for a number 2 receiver, and I do believe Pickens is a 1. But he's not horrible. I make it sound like it's brutal, but everyone's just so excited about it. I don't get it. It's not even resembling a 1-to-1 replacement for Deontay Johnson, who is electric. He's a much better route runner. He puts a lot more stress on defenses. Boyd is a short to intermediate slot that doesn't run well, that plays hard, and will block. I mean, he's a lot closer to Allen Robinson than he is Deontay Johnson, folks. So depending what the cost is, I don't mind him on the roster. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate it. But the way that people are talking about it, I'm like, oh, it solves all your problems at receiver. It doesn't. It simply doesn't. BetOnline continues to be your number 1 source for all your basketball wagering needs, including pro and college hoops throughout the year. With up-to-minute odds, stats, and trends, you can follow your favorite teams. Experience the world's best wagering platform anytime from your desktop or your mobile devices. Head to BetOnline today to become part of the team, and remember to use promo code BELIEVE, capital B-L-E-A-V, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here. All right, the last thing I want to do is pull back curtain. I am recording this Thursday at noon, so maybe 1 or 2 of these dudes aren't available. But Matt Bowen does really good work for ESPN, and he put out his best available free agents this morning. So I wanted to buzz through these and see any sort of big ticket items appeal to the Steelers, in my opinion. Number 1 on his list is Eric Armstead. He's going to be 30 years old. He's a defensive tackle, and I am interested. I am very interested. He would be a cut Ogunjobi, put another $7 million maybe in the pot, and go get Armstead, who's long, high character defensive lineman. Put him all over the formation. Not quite as physical and strong as Cam, but few are. But he gets by with length and toughness and great athleticism still. Eric Armstead would be a very welcome addition here, and I would consider paying him. Kendall Fuller's number 2. He's a corner from the Commanders. He's also going to be 30. I mean, for the price, you just added a corner. I think you add another corner in the draft, and you're probably done at that position. Tyron Smith. I mean, it's exciting because he's a Hall of Famer. He'd be a great influence on Broderick Jones. Plug him in on a 1-year deal at left tackle. Probably not for the price he's going to cost, though. Chase Young's a no. Marquise Brown at the right price. He's 27. He's not my favorite receiver on the market. That would be Mike Williams. I'm not even sure if he's on this list because he just got cut, but he should be. And Mike Williams would very, very much interest me. I mean, imagine, I know he has an injury history, but putting him and Pickens as downfield, big jump ball guys, deep threats, Mike Williams to me is something that's very attractive. Marquise Brown wouldn't be bad, though. He's obviously very small. They want blockers at that position, but that can't be requisite number one for my wide receivers. You have to be a great blocker or we're doing something wrong here. It depends on the price with Brown. DJ Reader, Bengals defensive tackle. Interesting. Yes. That comes down to medicals. Would be the same situation. Cut Ogunjobi, throw some more money in the pot and go get Reader, who's more of a nose, but he's a power player. He can push the pocket as well. I'm a big fan. Trent Brown would sort of, I think spending on offensive tackles just doesn't make a lot of sense. Xavier Howard is 31. He's recently let go from the Dolphins. Doesn't run great. Probably is too expensive. I think corner is going to come via the draft. Mike Williams is number 9 on his list. I'm a big, big fan. Curious what his price would be. Kevin Zeitler's a guard. No. Cameron Curl is a safety that's been out there for a while. He was franchised last year by the Commanders. I'd call him. I mean, he'd be a really nice pairing with Fitzpatrick, and I think he's going to be rather pricey, but they have the money. I mean, he's not a huge ticket item. I think Cameron Curl, someone at this stage of free agency, you want to get in touch with. As is the case with Connor Williams, who was the probably second best center on the market. I think he's only 27, but I think he hasn't been signed because of a torn ACL that he suffered in December. So when's he ready? I mean, that's obviously a sticking point. But if you sign him to a 2-year deal and he doesn't play the first month of the season, I'll live with that. I think Connor Williams is someone you call right now. Devin White is not. He signed a linebacker. Jadeveon Clowney, no. My other favorite here is Justin Simmons is 15th on his list. I think he's a top 5 safety all day long. I'd rather have him than Curl. He's 30. He might even be a top 3 safety. He is a phenomenal football player that I'm curious what he's asking, but I would certainly entertain that number. Unless it's insane, it's not going to be, more than Minka. I mean, I know it's a lot to have tied in your safety room, but Justin Simmons to me would really just make the spine of your defense one of the best in the league as opposed to being one of the worst in the league. Mekhi Becton, tackle, I don't think. Another favorite safety here is Julian Blackmon from the Colts. I'm guessing he's $5 or $6 million a year at this stage after the first wave has passed. I would be highly, highly interested. I'd love to sign one of these safeties. That's right behind Mike Williams on my wish list. Curtis Samuel's interesting. Dynamic receiver, has a hard time staying healthy. Does a lot for an offense. Only 28. I would kick the tires on that one as well. I would not on Stephon Gilmore. I would not anymore on Jerome Baker or Steven Nelson for that matter. Ryan Tannehill's his 22nd quarterback. No. Risner, the guard. No, they're out of the guard market. Another safety of interest is 26-year-old Jordan Fuller of the Rams. He'd be good. I mean, quality player, better than KZ. Nice compliment to Fitzpatrick. So Jordan Fuller would be my least favorite of those safeties we talked about today, but of interest for sure. He has Odell Beckham, 25, 31. I still think he can play. I think there's more than you're buying that's worth your time, to be honest with you. And he probably wants a fair amount of money still. Another corner, Adoree Jackson's 26 on the list. No. Tyre Tart is someone you might not know a lot about. He was a Titan. They cut him late in the year after they were basically eliminated from the playoffs because he's a pain in the butt. But he's 27. The Texans picked him up right away. I don't know exactly what his off-the-field stuff is. I don't think it's, beating up grandmas, but I think he's a pain in the butt. Boy, he's good, though. I mean, he is a disruptive interior lineman that would be a wonderful addition here if you can manage him. I don't know all the details. Talked about Tyler Boyd to start the show. He's 28th. A guy I liked from the Bills, Terrell Dotson, the linebacker's 29th. I think you're done there. Tre'Davious White is 30. I think you're done there as well. Calais Campbell's kind of like that Tyron Smith conversation of, yeah, it'd be great to sit him with Cam and all that, but he's awful old, and he's 38 at this point, so I don't think so. Mike Dana's an edge, a big edge. No. Hunter Renfro's very attractive to me. I would rather have Renfro than Boyd, I think, to start the show, but we haven't seen much of him lately. He's only 28, pure slot, but is always open. DJ Chark is a no for me. He's a downfield overrated receiver. And last one on the list is Michael Thomas, whose name value, kind of like Odell, is probably a lot higher than his true worth. So he's not really for me either. So those are some names. Those are some of the top of the market guys still remaining after the first wave of free agency. The safeties are of interest. Mike Williams is of great interest. And a couple of the big name D linemen are still out there I would be at least inquiring about. So Steelers have cap space. They could make at least one of these moves, maybe two. Love to have a safety locked up. I think you have to have a receiver locked up before the draft of some sort. That's all I got for today. Take care. Over and out.